Please let's network with each other. Let's network with each other. So while that is going on, we'll just get to meet ourselves. So my name is Joy Nkano, and I'm the team lead for the PMO team in Bincom Dev Center. So I'd like to meet each and every one of you. There's Collins, Emmanuel on the call. So please let's get to meet you. Tell us your name, where you're joining us from, and what you do. Collins, Emmanuel, you're the first person I'm seeing, so I'm calling you.
All right.
Please,
Yeah.
just
Good
your
afternoon.
name, where you're joining us from. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Prince. I have joined from Nairobi, Kenya.
Sorry, you're not so audible. We are struggling to hear you.
My network. My name is Collins Emmanuel, and I have joined from Nairobi, Kenya. Oh?
Yeah, we had you, Mr. Collins. Welcome. I don't know, maybe Joyce Network.
Okay, I wasn't really hearing. But that's fine if other persons heard you. All right, so there's Victor Ayada. Sorry if I pronounce your name wrongly. Please, can we get to meet you? Tell us your name, where you're joining us from, and what you do. Please, let's connect with each other.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Victor. I'm a graphic designer, and I saw the notice of the meeting on Instagram, so I decided to join.
Oh, wow. That's nice. That's nice. I was so excited to have you here. Thank you so much. Please drop your handle so we can connect with you. There's Emmanuel over. Okay, he's still trying to connect. Okay, so who else is on the call? We have Jackson. Please let's get to meet you. Your name, what you do, and where you're joining us from.
Hello, my name is Jackson. I'm joining from Lagos, Nigeria, and I am a backend developer.
Okay, that's great. It's nice meeting you. It's nice meeting you. I'll just take a few more persons. There's Alhassan Bala. Please let's get to meet you too.
All right, good day, everyone. My name is Al Hassan Bala, and from Gombe, Nigeria. I'm a project manager with Bincom Dev Center.
Oh, that's great. That's great. That's great. Um, we have Oluwatofumi Bamisile. Please let's get to meet you quickly. Your name, where you're joining us from, and what you do.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Oluwatofumi Bamishile, and I am a digital marketer at Bincom Dev Center, and I am speaking from Akure, Nigeria.
That's nice. That's nice. Thank you so much. And then we'll go with the last person. Yeah, we have James Chuku. James Chuku, please can we get to know you?
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is
Good
James
afternoon.
Chuku. Yeah, infrastructure slash DevOps engineer with Bincom Dev Center, and I'm currently in Lagos, Nigeria.
All right, that's nice. That's nice. All right, guys, thank you so much. Please, we're still sharing our details. We're still sharing our connection links. I still say sharing our Instagram handles. Please let's connect with each other. So we'll be doing that for a few more minutes. So please share your details. Let's connect with each other. If you're just joining us, you're welcome to Bincom Dev Center ICT Career Talk. And trust me, this edition promises to be really exciting, educative, and all round interesting. So please, 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 we would love to connect with you. So drop your LinkedIn handle, Instagram handle, Twitter handle. Let's connect with you. Please, if you're just joining us, we're connecting with each other. So please drop your Instagram handle, Twitter handle, and LinkedIn handle. Let's connect with you. I don't know. It seems it's stopped, so I'm calling on everyone. If you know you've not sent in yours, please do. Let's connect with you. It's nice having you too, Amaka. Thank you for joining. All right, so briefly, I'll call on Elijah Iyajini to just talk briefly about the team, and then we'll just proceed from there. So, Elijah, the floor is yours. What's your thoughts about the theme? Will AI take over your tech job? Will AI take over our own tech job? So let's hear your thoughts towards this. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So wow. Good day, everyone. Well, I think the team is very interesting because not only is it interesting, it is timely. There's a lot of transitions in different industry, and as we all know, tech is the great equalizer. And a lot of persons are actually quite afraid because the future of the future of Industry 4.0, which is the current industry transition at the moment, is changing rapidly. An organization at the moment, they are trying as much as possible to see how they can automate processes as well as cut down on expenses while they try to scale up. So the topic like this is, or the theme like this is very interesting because it exposes the things that are happening behind the scene that many who are working within certain industry are unaware of. And secondly, as well, it provides the necessary lenses to predict the direction of the future. So it doesn't matter what career path you're in, tech is most definitely going to get integrated into your space. All right, even as menial as the food industry per se might be, right? Because we don't hear a lot about tech, but around the area of the food industry, but it's getting into there as well. So personally, I think tech is a very great tool, is a tool of leverage, and a topic like this is necessary for you so you know what to do next, and you don't end up getting into career paths that will get outdated, and you won't actually end up regretting why someone else take your job. One core perspective I have towards the whole tech and AI concept is the fact that AI by itself will not take away your job. AI by itself will not kick you out of the job market. AI by itself will not do wonders. But individuals who understand the competitive leverage that comes with these tools would come for your job. They will fire you. Like they'll fire you so fast before you remember your name, you're fired. So you just need to be at the top of your game and see how well you can push yourself out there competitively. So a topic like this is very necessary, and I'm happy to be here and happy to learn, to expose my mind to new information, and of course, to put on my A-level cap so nobody can take me out of my job. All right, so basically that's it. I would have loved to say more, but I think that is it. So
Yeah. Thank you so much for that. I like the part where you say AI is not here to take our jobs, but it will definitely take the jobs of those who are not at the edge of it, right? So AI is not taking your job, but if you're not stepping up your game to see how you can use this AI to make your job more seamless, you lose your job. So thank you so much for that, Elijah. We really, really appreciate. All right. So we're getting into the business of the day, and so for most of you here might not know what or who Bincom Dev Center is and what we do. So I'll be talking briefly about Bincom Dev Center and the services we provide. So I'll be sharing my screen. All right. So welcome to Bincom Dev Center. All right, so Bincom Dev Center is a multi-location technology talent development and solutions platform, and we have we're based in different locations. So virtually we are near you. We have a location in Yaba, Lagos State. We have one in Ibadan, Oyo State. We also have in Kano. We have in Kaduna. We have in Ogun State, Warri, Delta State, and the United Kingdom. And we also have plans to expand to as many locations as possible. So we have different services in Bincom, and we have the Bincom Academy. Bincom Academy utilizes the Montessori approach in training participants in basic skills needed for the modern technology ecosystem. So if you're looking to start a career in tech and you're not really sure where to start from, Bincom Academy is the best place you should begin. We have our Bincom Tech internship. It is designed to enable people at intermediate skill level gain mastery and expertise over a period of time. We have Bincom Tech apprenticeship, which is more of an industrial attachment at various skills level to gain experience and on-the-job training. So you want to get hands-on experience on a particular tech stack, or level, Bincom Tech Apprenticeship is for you. We have Bincom Community Events and Project, which is geared at giving back to the community and building the tech ecosystem. They focus on informing and exposing the youth to the current technology trends and how to prepare for the future in technology, which is what we are doing right now. And that's why we have this ICT career talk. There are more community events. So as you join us, as you follow us, you get to see more. So if you have interest, you can always join. We have our Light Space. Light Space provide helpful workspace intended to encourage collaboration and drive innovations in the startup ecosystem. We have spaces that is created and designed for various events like seminars, conferences, and get-togethers. We have the Bincom Global Tech Program. The Bincom Dev Center Global Tech Program is your solution to launch your tech career globally. So it's a 1 to 2 years program focused on 3 key pillars, which is learn skills, gain experience, and gain exposure. So the program fee is rated at 1.2 million naira. Income sharing agreement and other payment options are also available. So if you're looking to learn a skill, or you have the skill and you need experience and you need exposure, then Bincom Global Tech Program is for you. And that reminds me, if you stay till the end of this session, we have other packages we'll be letting you know. So please do not go. Stay with us till the end. We have the Emigrate session and the Emigrate, and this helps you become globally attractive tech profile or tech-enabled business. And the Emigrate is your tech-enabled pathway to relocation and settlement in countries like the UK, USA, Canada, and France. Bincom Mentoring Platform is a structured mentoring solution to help mentors add value to mentees for the purpose of building globally attractive techies. So if you're here and you know you're good with mentoring people, you're good with mentoring techies, Bincom Mentoring Platform is for you. If you're also looking to get a mentor, Bincom Mentoring Platform is also for you. We have Labs by Bincom, which is a 3 to 6 months pre-incubator program that brings together participants to build a digital technology product which will be used by real-life users. We also have Bincom Tech Career Coaching. This helps individuals to land their next role faster, offering a combination of coaching, relevance, and on-the-job experience, career referencing, introduction to tech recruiters, hands-holding application, and also smooth interview processes and much more. Bincom Tech Career Coaching is for you. So this is much of Bincom. So if you don't mind, we can also drill down to more of our services. So for the Bincom Academy, this is an intensive training program facilitated by Bincom Dev Center. Each technology or application development class is typically 4 weeks of intensive training. During this period, we shall take the participants through a training curriculum that's for that knowledge track in a Montessori approach. So the price is here on the screen. If you're interested in this, you can reach out to us. We'll be sharing links. So any of it that suits you, you can reach out to us. And is someone speaking? Okay, so we'll move on to our light. We'll move on to our light space. Our light space provides helpful workspace intended to encourage collaboration and drive innovation in the startup ecosystem. We have spaces that is created and designed for various events like seminars, conferences, and get-together. So if you're interested if you're in any of our physical location and you're interested in using our light space for any of your events or your seminars or your conference, this Bincom Light Space is here for you. We have Bincom Community Events, which is geared at giving back to the community and building the tech ecosystem. We focus on informing and exposing the youth to the current technology trends and how to prepare for the future in technology. Bincom Community Events is divided into 5. We have master classes, which includes Digital Financial Service Masterclass, Bincom Startup School, Technology Enhanced learning series. We have meetups like WordPress meetup, PHP meetup, data science meetup, Python meetup, AWS meetup, Angular meetup, Laravel meetup, and so on. We have the idea sharing session, which is our Bincom ICT career talk and our career drill down. And we're currently having our ICT career talk with a very fascinating topic. So please stay with us so you get to hear from amazing speakers. We have also the Explore on the Move, which is our tech talk, and then we have Challenge and Brainstorm, like our hackathons, and we'll also be having one coming up in September. So please stay with us. You can follow our page, you can follow us on all social media platforms to stay updated. Some of our other initiatives include Bincom Tech Network. Bincom Academy uses the Bincom Tech Network Slack for collaboration purposes, interaction with facilitators and other participants of Bincom Academy class, which happens on the channel in Bincom Tech Network. And then we have the Bincom Tech Club, which creates an ecosystem that enables tech enthusiasts who have little or no knowledge on tech to learn and rub minds with tech experts, leveraging on the tech community to front end the possibilities for individual club members to become tech experts. So if you're interested in any of these services, Bincom is for you. There are more and more and more and more, and trust me, you don't want to miss any. So we'll be sharing links. So just watch the charts. We'll be sharing links where if you have interest in any of these programs, you can simply just sign up or let us know. All right, so please, I know some persons just joined us again, and please, we want to connect with you. So please drop your social media handles. Let's connect with you. I'm super excited meeting every one of you, and trust me, you're not gonna regret this session. It's going to be exciting. So please, if you're just joining us, we are happy to have you. So please network and connect with each other. We'll bringing up our first speaker soon. So please let's keep the ball rolling by sharing our social media handles so we connect with everyone. All right, so we're getting deep into the business of the day. And please, you can still be dropping your social media handles because we still want to connect with you. So please drop them. We're connecting with you. I'll be bringing up our very first speaker for today's session. And but before then, let's just do a little deep dive into the theme for today. And we have the theme as will AI take over your tech job. So the rise of artificial intelligence has undoubtedly had a profound impact on the job market, particularly in the tech space. AI technologies have the potential to automate various tasks and processes that were traditionally performed by humans, leading to concerns about job displacement. While AI has taken or indeed taken over certain jobs in the tech industry, it is important to note that it has also created new opportunities and transformed existing roles. So, on one hand, AI has led the automation of routine and respective tasks such as data entry, analysis, and customer support. This has also resulted in some job losses, especially in the industry heavily reliant on manual labor or rule-based tasks. However, AI has also opened a new avenue for job creation and innovation. It has spurred the demand for AI specialists, data scientists, machine learning engineers, and other professionals with expertise in AI related fields. Additionally, AI has facilitated the development of new products and services, leading to the emergence of startups and expansion of tech companies, which in turn generates employment opportunity. So the question still remains, will AI take over your tech job? So we'll be bringing up our very first speaker who will let us know if AI is here to take over our tech jobs or we will actually know when he comes on board. So I will be introducing him now. So let's get to meet our very first speaker for today's session. All right, so we have Taiwo Tunde, and Taiwo is an extraordinary, highly motivated, and versatile professional with 6 years of experience in the tech industry. He has demonstrated a remarkable ability to adapt and excel in various roles, including business development, data analysis, product management, and investment analysis. Throughout his career, he has been actively involved in mentoring and supporting tech enthusiasts to help them grow and succeed in their respective fields. So, fun fact about Taiwo Tunde is that he has over how many? I think over 60 certifications. Like, that's mind blowing. So, he will tell us more of himself when he joins us. So please let's welcome our very first speaker for today. Mr. Taiwo, the floor is yours. You can come on stage.
Thank you very much, Joy, for that introduction. And good afternoon, everyone. My name is Taiwo through the Latin Day. And as Joy has said, as Joy has said, motivated individual. I love to read, I love to learn, and I love to adapt to it, changes with the environment. Joy, would I be sharing my slides or you do it? I think I would prefer to share my slides myself.
All right, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay. All right, that's good. Okay, come. I want to confirm if you can see my slides. Yeah, perfect.
Yes,
Can you also see my? Yeah, that's
yeah.
cool. All right, so we'll just go straight to the business of the day. We'll AI take my tech job, and why I put tech in the bracket is not necessarily your tech job, but just any job with AI take my job. And so I'll be running through this content, not to bore with us with like so much stories. I'll tell you who I am and what is AI for some of us that don't really know. I do not want to assume that everybody here is from a technical background, and I'm just trying to keep the floor open. And how I got interested in AI and the future, and what's in it for you. First, I'll tell you who I am. My name, like I said earlier, my name is Tawotu Latunde. Currently, um, 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 I love to read a lot, so I'm currently in the process to start my doctorate of business administration, but with a private equity focus in finance. I'm aspiring to be an advisor. I'm currently a mentor. I'm interested in tech and also investment, and trying to also build a career in venture capital and private equity. And while I have, you would understand how all of it relates with tech. I just recently completed my master's degree in financial technology at the University of Birmingham, but my undergraduate degree was in agriculture. So why this switch? And this also demonstrated why I had to accumulate a lot of certifications that was on Coursera and the other learning platform. I think it will be over 60. I think it could be closer to 70 or 80, and some of the ones that I've not even had time to upload on LinkedIn already. But I think my background was in agriculture, but after graduating, after 6 years, I realized that this industry was too narrow for me. I wasn't going to give me the desired career path I wanted for my life. But for me to transition, I was more interested in finance because I really wanted to understand how money and investment work, because it's very it's very clear to everyone, at least in like a place like Nigeria, you really need a lot of money. And I really wanted to have a lot of money. I really wanted to translate my life into that level of comfort. And I saw that I did a couple of research on LinkedIn, and I observed that most of the people that I wanted to look like had finance background. And I was trying exploring while I was preparing to study for my master's degree, what kind of program can I go for? I saw that I couldn't go for a full-time, a full-fledged finance program. I couldn't do an MSc in finance, but the fintech program was available for me, so I opted in for that program. And that program gave me like it's almost like a dual degree, so I could get a job in finance or in technology. But after graduating, I realized that I was not really interested in tech as much because I needed to be technical, and I did not think that I had that time to go to start writing Python and writing code and things like that. But I was more interested in finance. I was more interested in investment. I really wanted to understand.
Za ta zo, na gaya miki za ta zo ba, kawai ina ta ƙara takusawa ne, amma za ta zo insha Allah. Tana nan za ta zo.
Okay, yes, I was interested in investment. I really wanted to understand how investment worked. I took an internship with an investment analyst, as an investment analyst in a family office here in London. And after that, my journey in investment started. So I'll still go to the rest of. So that's just a brief background about me. And basically, what family offices do is they invest in different kind of projects. It could be a tech related project, it could be fintech, deep tech, it could be mining, manufacturing. That's what they basically do. And then straight to the point, what is AI? AI is just very simply ascribing human intelligence to a machine that would help the machine effectively do what a human being can do. It could range from different kinds of things, from creativity to learning to performing tasks like and also repetitive tasks, like as you can see in manufacturing and things like that. So basically, what humans can do, given that ability to a machine to do, is artificial intelligence, as simple as that. And now, what really powers artificial intelligence, and what is machine learning? What is data? Data is just like almost the bedrock of everything. Without data, artificial intelligence is dead, because artificial intelligence basically needs large volumes of data to train the model, and the model will be able to perform the task much more effectively. And the machine learning is that ability of, and is the process of giving the machine the ability to learn. That's the process of machine learning. So the machine learning involves like structuring a data to like make the machine much more intuitive. So right now, we're at that stage where artificial intelligence is still in the cognitive stage, where it can learn, it could perform tasks, it could do a lot of things, but there's still much more superior stages. And let me quickly put a disclaimer. I'm not, the end of my presentation is not to tell you whether AI is going to take your job or not. I'm just trying to have a conversation with them from a broader perspective because I think most of us here are a bit conversant with what's already going in the industry. I'm just bringing a different perspective to it. And now I got interested in AI. So as an investment analyst, basically what my job entails is checking out deals, checking out what's going on in the markets, what is trying to understand the investor sentiment and see where the money was going to. So I think earlier on, I started a job about February and towards April and May. During my research, trying to understand what my company could invest in, trying to understand the sentiments in the marketplace, and I was checking out deal flows. I started observing that lots of money, like millions and billions, started going into AI. At this time, the buzz was not even this loud. GPT came up November, it started gaining popularity, crossed over 100 million users up until January, February, but it was not as loud as it is currently now. But towards April and May, while I was in my research, I saw that lots of money was going into this field. Then it started making sense to me. I would have conversations with friends and I'll tell them that, and colleagues, they'll tell me crypto is gaining ground. I'll tell them no, which from the facts and data that I have, that I can see, hundreds of millions of dollars goes into AI investment weekly on a weekly basis. Then it started getting interesting to me because this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to understand investor sentiment and see the direction of the money. And for me, coming from an investment perspective, and why I would not want to narrow this conversation to your job is that I want you to see the old trend with AI from a marketplace perspective, like understand the market sentiment that because first of all, the market is bigger than you. You're not bigger than the market. So you're just a small part of the market. But if you understand where the direction of the market, you could be better positioned on how to maybe not beat the market, but go in the flow of the market. So I saw that top dollars was going into AI investment, then AI must be the next big thing. So the couple of people that AI is going to be the next big thing. They said no, it's crypto, is this, is that. But after the FTX crash, the market and investors have reacted negatively towards anything that was like crypto. Nobody even wants to hear anything that's crypto related. But AI, the buzz around AI was increasing. And that's how I got interested in it. Then I started reading about it, checking out more deals. I subscribed to more newsletters to understand the trend and the development. And you would observe that along the line, GPT started becoming more popular because we were in school seasons. Students, workers started using GPTs and all different kind of. I think ChatGPT brought popularized generative AI. So GPT, I'm sure most of us will know it's just generative pre-trained transformers, but you could also call it a generative AI, like an AI that could create something for you. And the rise of the GPT came from text creation to image creation to music creation. Then, first of all, writers were the first to be threatened, like with a GPT that could write excellently well. People have built industries around doing assignments for college kids. But now college kids don't need to pay anybody because GPT will do a better job faster than any human being can do. And these ones, first of all, writers were the first ones to go. And with the popularity of GPT, I think maybe I live in England currently, and maybe more. I think I'm sorry we did not get the distribution of where most of the audience is, but I used to live in Nigeria. If I were to live in Nigeria, a bulk of this exposure that I have to like AI, I may not necessarily have it. But currently, I know most people that I know are not really using the GPT 4.0, Chat GPT 4.0. They only use 3.5 because myself I still use the 3.5. But when I see people do presentations and talk about the power of 4.0, 4.0 is way advanced than what we use when you use the free 3.5. And I began to imagine this thing is really powerful. Then you have different levels of AI that could do different types of AI that could do imaging, that could do music for you, that AIs that could produce videos. Recently, I was having a conversation with a friend that was talking about AI not being able to do certain things. And I told them, like, for example, have you seen an AI that could create an entire presentation slide for you just with the simple thing of writing your prompts? Also, GPTs work with prompts. You need to be able to structure your you need to be able to structure your promptings correctly and give the AI like the good prompts to generate what you actually mean. And with very good prompts, the AI can create an entire slide deck for you. And this and the major limitation, like I've done a couple of conversations, and I realized that the major limitations of the GPT is on human creativity and not on the machine. So now this is where you now start to question that will AI be smarter than humans in the next future? And this is the conversation we need to start having as human species. Like we could say AI has not gotten to that level of human intuition, but in terms of creativity, is AI getting smarter? Because if you have used so let me just get a random poll. If you have used the GPT 3.5, chat GPT 3.5, can you indicate by raising your hand? So I'll just quickly like count and see how many of us have used it. A bit of interactive time. Have you used ChatGPT 3.5? Okay, one person. Okay, so just two persons that have used GPT 3.5. Okay, Abidemi and Azan, that's all. Okay, have any of you used 4.0? Okay, so no one has used 4.0. Okay, all right, that's fine. So I guess I'm speaking to like an audience that's not even. Are we familiar with what I'm saying? I think I need a bit of feedback so I would know you can hear me well and you're feeling the conversation. I hope I'm not talking over your head.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Okay, so you're getting what I'm saying, right?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
getting it. I think most of us use the free version.
You said what?
Most of us use the free version.
Okay, yeah, that's it. But the paid version is a lot more powerful than it. And this is where you now say that AI is here to challenge human creativity. And I think that's going to be the next level of the development of AI's intuition. For me, people have conversations and say maybe AI will not get smart, maybe AI would not be more intuitive and become self-conscious. But I would say maybe we are going to get there soon, maybe not soon enough though. But now that we have generative AI, there's also conversational AI, and this AI is poised to threaten and kick off hundreds of thousands of sales and telemarketers. The AI could make conversations from 5 to 40 minutes like a human being, and this is just being developed. They're still in a very elementary stage, and I think it's AI. It's called AI. It could make calls like a real human being, and this is conversational AI. But like I said, I think when I started on trying to understand the conversation around AI, my creativity and level of thinking and openness started to increase. And I think this is where we need to get to as a species or as individuals. Like, we're not bothered and all locked up within will AI take my job, but rather you're understanding the whole ecosystem. You're trying to understand the ecosystem as a whole, like how does this impact human life, not necessarily my life, because whether we like it or not, where the dollar goes, where the dollar goes and how the dollar is being put to use is what you really don't understand, because currently AI is being developed in silos. Like, we're training models to solve individual tasks, but you don't know the next founder or next developer that is developing something that might kick you out of the market. And this is what I try to tell people. Billions go into AI development weekly. You're not privy to what they're being used to develop. And what if they're actually coming after your own job? You really cannot tell. But my conversation is to talk to people and help them increase the level of awareness and become more open to this innovation, because it is actually going to happen. Maybe not sooner, maybe later, but it is definitely going to happen. And I don't know if you all know that Elon Musk started developing his own supercomputer, and the way it played out to me is that Elon Musk has developed Tesla. Tesla is already using AI, a very advanced level of AI, even more advanced than GPT, because it is relating with, it's not just writing text and generating information off of the internet. It is relating with real human being, because he's working with self-driving cars, and it's going to be, from what I could understand him trying to do, is he's trying to build a level of consciousness where the AI itself becomes more creative, and his own languages. I'm trying to build an AI artificial intelligence model that can understand the world. This is a very advanced level of artificial intelligence development. So should Elon Musk be more successful? Should Elon Musk be successful at his endeavor? What it means is that generative AI, like all the GPTs we have, the ones that could do pictures and videos and music and text, are just going to go obsolete, because AI will develop an advanced level of consciousness. So that's how it's playing out in my own mind, and I'm really hoping to see what Elon Musk can come out of and build and with his own model. So from different level of conversations I've thought about, I could break down the AI into these three categories. We have artificial intelligence, but I just chose to include artificial narrow intelligence. And that's what I'm talking about. That, for example, ChatGPT can only do text, or can only like do things that has to do with, it's a generative AI basically. It could only like write scripts, it could write lines of code, and I'm sure that some developers here would have heard that AI GPT can write lines of code. I joined a webinar like some 2 weeks ago, and a founder showed us on how to use GPT to create a mobile app. GPT can create a mobile app, like a very basic mobile app, but it's a mobile app that could connect APIs. So now the level of advancement is actually very fast. And I like what the first speaker, the male said, the guy said that AI might not replace you, maybe not now, but a person that can use AI too will replace you. And that is definitely very true. So if you backtrack to the very elementary days of the development of the personal computers, when Bill Gates said he wants to put a computer in every household, and they developed the Excel workbook. It eliminated a lot of people that could not use that tool, that could only do the manual way of computing. Their jobs were lost. But AI for now is still a tool. And I was having conversations with friends, and I told them that very soon, part of job requirements will be, can you use ChatGPT? If you can't use ChatGPT, you might likely not get jobs very soon, because every employer knows that if I employ somebody that can use ChatGPT, I could get more work done even with the same number of hours. If you get what I'm saying, because ChatGPT's output is actually more than humans can do. You could use a ChatGPT to write a 70,000 words PhD thesis, something that is not humanly possible. When I was writing my DBA thesis, DBA thesis proposal, I used ChatGPT, and I was able to complete all what I was doing. Like I said, you need to train yourself to be able to think creatively. And this is where, for now, AI would not have power over humans if you can improve the level of your creativity and really understand how to use the tool. I used barely less than 2 hours for something that I would have used days and several hours of deep research to do. I did not even have to do any research. I think the amount of research I did is maybe some few minutes to just make my thesis a bit scholarly. But in terms of the structure, the framework, ChatGPT gave me everything in very few minutes. And no, so I talked about artificial narrow intelligence. So this just means that there was still in the phase where AI is still in different silos. So AI can do one single thing. Like for example, Tesla AI cannot be a ChatGPT. ChatGPT cannot drive a car. That's artificial narrow intelligence. But artificial general intelligence is a level much more advanced. So for example, let me put it in context. We are in artificial narrow intelligence, and at this phase, I would say maybe this baby is still born at few minutes old. But to get to artificial general intelligence means that a baby competing with a full grown, a baby versus a full grown up adult. So, for example, as an adult, it's expected that you know a bit of physiology, psychology, you know a bit of finance, you know a bit of economy, you know a bit of how the system works like the whole system works as a unit of one, not as not the system working in silos. So humans don't learn in silos. We learn in the same brain, and our brain processes this level of complex information. So this is the next level of artificial intelligence development. Some people say we may get this level in few months. Some people say in a few years. Some are saying if you're maybe 25 years old, it will probably be in your grandchildren's generation before we get this level. But like I said, the dollar is going into this development. You really never know what anybody is developing. We could wake up tomorrow and see that there is an AI that could function as a full human being with very complex understanding of the world. And that's why I'm still very, very excited about what Elon Musk is trying to develop. And I'm wishing him success for him to get to that level where his AI understands the world and can interpret and make sense of the world as a machine. Hopefully he gets it. But that is artificial general intelligence. And the next one, where everybody is really afraid that once machines get this level of intelligence, the world will probably end in super intelligence. So now the machine becomes autonomous. It has crossed the level of general intelligence. It knows everything already. Then now, the machine becomes like a god. And if you've watched sci-fi and some of these movies where machines take over the world, this is where it is at the super intelligence level that people are talking about. But some people are saying it might probably not get to that level. Will it not? Definitely, maybe not in our lifetime, but maybe in the far future. But I'm very excited. And I was having a conversation with my brother about this. I really wish to see what machines taking over the world will look like. But would it be scary? Would it happen? Is it real? Maybe, maybe not. But what we can see is that the advancement of artificial intelligence from the time past, artificial intelligence conversation started in like World War II. But in the last 3 years, the level of advancement we've seen in, let's just say, in generative AI, and that's still narrow level AI, is very, very advanced. So OpenAI launched the first GPT in 2018. But we can see that from 2020 till today, even from like late last year till today, we can see the level of advancement in the GPTs that we've seen, the generative AI, different levels of people building upon the GPT. You take on GPT and you build something upon it and you create another product. And you see, almost every day, different tools are flying. Is it wise to keep up with the tools? Maybe, maybe not. You could just pick the one that really works for you, become a master at it, because different levels, different entrepreneurs, different founders are building different kind of thing, because the way our mind works is very, very different. And it depends on, like I said, the the development of AI, the use of AI is very limited on human creativity. What if AI become creative itself? How much more can AI do? And I would just encourage people to like do more research on how these conversations are being like are coming up. Try to understand what super intelligence will be like. Are we going to get to the dystopian world where control AI controls everything? If at the point where we get to artificial general intelligence, when humans can do everything, jobs could literally go extinct. Then the conversation is how will humans end? Some people are already having this conversation started about 2016, and some people are already proposing that at that point would that be universal basic income where you necessarily don't have to work before you earn, but you earn at the minimum level. But now another conversation is what happens, who controls the AI? If the controllers of AI are wicked people, then what, how would it impact the world? And different levels of conversation. So I would rather say that the development of AI is more than you having a job or losing a job. But this is almost like an existential crisis for humans. Will machines take over the world? And I think I've said a couple of things already, like what's in it for you. Basically, it's just a conversation that's supposed to spur like our thoughts and our creativity. Well, like we already know, AI is already going to push out some people, like Joy said, sales and marketing people, their jobs are highly at risk. Maybe writers, um, graphic designers. Yeah, graphic designers are actually going to go extinct. Like I think they've almost gone extinct already because I wanted to create a design, and I asked myself, why should I pay a graphic designer $50 when an AI can do it for me? I wanted to create a logo also. AI can create a logo for me. Why should I pay a graphic designer? So I think those months, and we would all believe that if your job is going to go extinct, you probably know, but you're just trying to be in a state of oblivion where you don't really necessarily want to push yourself to that next level. And when I have conversation with maybe students, they tell me GPT is making them more lazy because they don't have to read, they don't have to study for their assignments. They could just type it into ChatGPT and it gives them the answer. But this kind of thinking and thought process is probably one of the first things that is going to push a lot of people out of jobs and make them as human beings become obsolete. Because if you say there is AI that could do all your tasks for you, and you relent in your brain processing power, AI is definitely going to become more smarter than you, and you're not going to get jobs. But I would say with the advent of GPTs, our creativity is supposed to be spurred. Our levels of inquisitiveness, like you become more curious, become try to understand like what's going on in the environment. And I'll say again, and that's why I like Elon Musk model of the way he views the world. He views the world as a field where it can study, because definitely has crossed the level of maybe um, basic survival, like that's in the Western world. But if you're that state of survival, and most of these conversations don't really fit into maybe us in the third world countries, like in Africa predominantly, because first of all, the fundamental thing to build our AI systems are not there. The data structure is not there. We don't have a good method of collecting data. And I think I would say, and this is not being biased, it's just a statement of facts that the AI conversation is still very far from the African state and maybe the third world country. But maybe in the advanced world, they've crossed that level where they can start to think about this higher level of intelligence and what is available to them. But for me and you as an individual, I'll just say basically get over yourself, try to understand the marketplace, understand the dollar flow. Where is the big dollar flowing to? What are investors trying to spend their money on? What are they interested in building? And we already know one key player that is there, Elon Musk. Just follow him. Follow what he's trying to do with his AI model. Would he succeed? Would he create an AI that can really understand the world? And another point of super intelligence. So right now, what we have in artificial narrow intelligence is humans that are prompting AI. Well, prompt like when you use GPT, you prompt your GPT without if you don't write good promptings, AI is not going to work for you. The GPT is not going to give you good answer. But at, at that stage of maybe artificial general intelligence and super intelligence, AI is building AI. AI is at that stage where it is building the next level of thing. And I was watching another video this morning. A PhD holder believes that AI is going to become a force in nature, like water and fire. So what happens at that point where AI becomes a force of nature, that AI self improves AI? AI is building more, has a level of consciousness to build upon, is building more things upon more things and improving itself. What's going to happen at the time? So I think that's all I have to say at this point. Like I said, I'm not telling you if AI is going to take your job or not, but I'm just trying to spur into another level of thinking and more level of curiosity. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much for that. It was really, really exciting hearing from you. And so the ball is in your court. You make the decision if AI is going to take your job, or you're going to step up your game to see how you can make AI seamless for your own job. So if you have any question, please write that down. We'll be coming to the question and answer session. So for now, we'll be moving on to our next speaker. So I will be calling on our next speaker, and then, so pardon, he won't be on video, but you'll be hearing his voice. So let me share my screen.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Oh yes, I can hear you.
All right, so my name is Stephen Jacob Werema. I am a partner with Microsoft for Founders, and this conversation about AI is something really interesting, and I'm really happy being here, to discuss about artificial intelligence and everything that it has in store for us. Sorry, I'm having cold, so I'm just going to go right away. So one thing is to understand what artificial intelligence is. Humans, we are very intelligent species. We've been able to create technology, flight planes, some things that have never happened in the history of mankind were done by humans. We've, 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 we've created cars, we've created computers, we've created telephone where you can stay somewhere and call somebody else far, far away, miles, millions of miles away. So it's really beautiful that we've come a long way as humans. And then one other thing that we've used to do this is called automated task. Even when you look at cars, what we did with cars is just automation, moving, automating flights and all of that. And the next thing is artificial intelligence. It's just us bringing our intelligence in an artificial form so that it can help us do things faster and more accurately. Because yes, computers help us do things more accurately because with human, I'm a software developer, and I know what it means when we make simple mistakes and there's just this small bug in the code and you're struggling to debug. So human error is the reason why we created artificial intelligence. I want us to be clear on many points, and it has grown over time. Artificial intelligence has grown to what we are seeing now. So, about AI now, the question is, the thing is, before AI was deployed, AI has already created jobs. The people that trained all of this AI, if you go, there's a whole lot of tasks, these online task websites. If you go, you see them, they are very many. So that was the places where people trained these AI models. So what's artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence is just, okay, I want to automate a task. I want that every time they release a shoe, a Nike shoe of my size 45, I want to buy it while I'm sleeping. because somebody else might get it. I want to buy it. So I'll create a bot, an AI model. I'll teach it how to do this thing, how it will go to the cart, how it will find the size 45, get it to the cart, put my payment, my card payment, help me to check out, and then put my address and then place a delivery. So a whole lot of guys have been doing this thing in Europe and America. So that's what AI model is. So there is several models for everything. Microsoft and many other cloud services have created this avenue where people can go and create AI models because it's the next big thing, create AI softwares. And I always look into the, what's it called? The financial aspect of this thing where, tomorrow when you want to chat when you want to chat a bank or your personal business, you can throw in everything about your personal business in an AI model and teach it about your business. And when somebody comes and says, how do you do this thing? The AI will answer it for you because you've already trained it and impacted it with everything about your business. So that's where we are. I don't know, my headset is low. I will have to remove it later. So that is one thing. AI has already created jobs and it will keep creating because it is being taught by humans, having to show it. If it is text, humans interact with it, it has been fed, especially ChatGPT was fed with a whole lot of books and it also crawls the internet. Every time you tell ChatGPT to do something or Google Bard, it just crawls the internet. And I must say that with AI, we have a more powerful way of intelligence because let me just say this. I've used AI to create courses and I'm still using it to complete my backend course. As a professional, you already know what you're looking for. All you have to do is to just say, okay, this is what I create. I'm going to teach you guys this. This is what I want to create. Give me the course outline. ChatGPT will give you the course outline. From introduction to the next topic to the next topic. You take the first topic, you say, okay, this is the topic, treat it. It will treat it for you. You as a professional, all you have to do is to look into areas where you can edit. In most cases, just copy and paste it. Or if you have other materials that you have, you paste it and mix everything together. If you use it as a course, it is most powerful than anything that we have. I think that schools today will have, I mean, the advent of AI is challenging our educational system, and schools today we have to either improve curriculums or, just be obsolete. So what next? I don't think AI is going to take away anybody's job because this has always been the thing with every time there is new technology. When people wanted to create cars, they were like, this one, horses were there before cars. But at the end of the day, there are more cars than horses and more efficient than we've ever seen. Today, it has created millions of jobs in transportation. That's what is going to happen. With the advent of the WW, World Wide Web and applications, native applications, we've seen a new way. Today, people sit in their house and just press their phone, post goods online, do drop shipping. It wasn't like that before. You don't literally even need to go somewhere and stay.
Which one do you want to do meeting or you want to listen to what?
Hello?
Yeah, you can speak. Sorry, there was a background noise.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go on. Okay, seems there's a little network challenge. So while he joins us back, okay, I see you're muted. You can speak now. Can you hear us?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you clearly.
Sorry, my headphone died. It was really low. I've been using it. So I don't even know where I stopped talking. So what I'm really saying in continuation is
today, created new jobs. Today we have hundreds of content creators, people that normally, if they wanted to be actors, they would have to go through Nollywood, doing interviews and all those things and fail probably. But now you just have to bring out your iPhone, learn a little about editing, do a little drama, post online, and monetize your page. It has created jobs, and that is what is going to happen with artificial intelligence. But it's going to create new jobs, and the only thing that is going to happen now is that the people using AI are the new professionals. Take this as a key word now. The people using AI are the new professionals. I know what I'm saying because I've used it to create courses. I'm still using it to create courses, and I'm looking at ways that, I'm going to look into building AI software applications, So artificial intelligence, as a graphic designer, you already have the knowledge. With artificial intelligence, you're just going to be this wonder guy. As a software developer with artificial intelligence, you're just going to be this wonder guy. We have this GitHub Copilot that is already helping us in so many ways. So I think that is one thing. And the thing is, there's always a narrative of the negative side of artificial intelligence. There's been negative side as well with the internet, fraudsters, all of that stuff. There's always a negative side. But for now, for me, I think we should focus on the positives of what artificial intelligence is. Now is the time to learn Python programming. Now is the time to, learn how to build models, artificial intelligence models, train them, deploy them, no matter how small it is, even if it's just to do addition for you, even if it's just to help you do a checkout on an e-commerce page, even if it's just all those small scenarios where you understand the basis of artificial intelligence, even if it's using chat GPT, to create your courses, understand your business model, you can ask it, okay, this is what I want to do. How do I go about this? A lot of us already know how to do these things. Ask AI, ChatGPT questions, and it gives us answers. So I think I'm not here to say much. It's just that the key points here is we should look into understanding what artificial intelligence is and understand that it has been creating jobs from its beginning, from the first time artificial intelligence was started being built. People has been training it and has been aiming. The companies that build all of these large language models actually taking data, and the rest companies, if you go online now, you see a whole lot of AI websites, applications, because they are buying data from the companies that have already trained AI models. So it's just going there, buy this data, come, launch it, and people like me and you will go there and use it. Go there to generate image, and then once you generate 5 images, you get to pay. They've already bought the models from the companies that trained it. That is how these things happen. And the companies that trained it paid humans to be able to train that. So AI has been creating jobs, although nobody knew all this why. I know people from Kenya, Nigeria, the US made thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars of working as trainers, using all those task sites. And the thing is, it's not going to take any job, it's going to improve the way we do jobs faster, more easier, That's just what artificial intelligence is here to do. If there's any question, I'm also here to answer. So by that, I'm just rounding up. I think I'm done. Yeah, over to you guys.
All right. Thank you so much for that. That was really a good one.
Yes,
Thank you
it's
so much. We really enjoyed that
yes,
session. That was more of a practical, real life scenario of how this AI actually works, and people are actually making money from it. So while the conversation was going on, there was also some going on in the chat, and there's one from Olivia that says, because humans have to feed this machine data, it is debatable that these machines will become sentient, but with the number of AI and robots induced movie one has seen, hopefully it won't get to that horrible areas as AI robots, but it's possible for these machines to be sent and transfer of consciousness in one way or the other. All right, so we'll see. We're still moving up. And then she also said, as a graphics designer are still needed for at least the next 10 years or more. So yes, we may have tools like Canva to help make life easy, but do you understand the term creativity? So with creativity, your job will never be at risk. That's what AI is all about. So pretty, that's really, really interesting to know. So yes, you're in tech doesn't mean you shouldn't be creative. You're a developer doesn't mean you shouldn't be creative. You have creative approach to things. So there should be that creative thinking. So AI, yes, it's not there to take your job, but you can actually use AI to make your job seamless, to improve the processes of how your job is being done. So thank you so much. All right, so it's actually time for the question and answer session. So I know most of you have a lot of questions you want to ask, and now is the time. So we'll just be no particular order. So if you have a question, you can just drop it in the chat, or you can raise your hand so you'll be called upon to ask your question. So does anyone have any question? Do you have any question? Does anyone have any question? I can't see anyone's hand up. Okay, yes, there are questions. So the first question here is um, what advice would you give to persons who want to transition into tech? So I think Mr. Taiwo, if you're available, we would love you to answer that question. What advice would you give to a person who wants to transition into tech?
Okay, that's a very good question. First of all, I would say transitioning into tech for me, I would use myself as an example. Like I said, my first degree was in agriculture, my second degree was in fintech, and now I'm taking on a data and AI role with British Telecom. It was not smooth. So I would say first of all, you need to understand where you are at and understand the skill set, the skills you have gathered over the years, and look for the check out your interest level because tech is wide. You really need to understand where you want to function. Do you want to become a software developer? Do you want to do engineering? Do you want to do products? So you really need to understand first. I think the first point you need to do is assess your skill set, get a mentor because the mentor is going to help you navigate some of the loopholes that you because this is information that's not very clear to you. Like when I was trying to get into investment, I had a very bleak idea of what it looks like, but the ropes, the path to getting there, I did not really understand it. And after a while, I realized that might not be the path I really need to walk because I'm not properly positioned to walk that path. So I would say first thing you need to do is assess yourself, do a skill assessment, get a mentor. This is very critical to your journey because getting a mentor can really is as good is your lifeline. It could determine if you will make that transition or if you will not make it. And also you need to get your first internship and job because really without learning, and I've never talked about learning, you need to learn a lot, like read aggressively, consume a lot, and you don't because you will really trying to make transition, you will might not really have a lot of time to throw around because you need to spend a lot of time reading, like a lot of time consuming video content, audio content, trying to reading, doing courses to really prove because if a mentor meets with you, they really need to check out your interest level. Are you really interested and committed to making this transition before I spend my time talking to you? You get what I mean? So first things first, do your skill assessment, get do your skill assessment, read a lot, get a mentor, and try to get your first role in your desired line of interest?
All right, all right. Thank you so much for that answer. So, person that asked the question, I hope that has answered your question well enough. All right, so there's someone's hand is up, so we'll just take that and then we'll go to the next question on the chat. So, Michael Alex, you have a question, please. You can ask your question. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. My question is this. In the chat, there's this I don't know, let me call it a comment which struck me, and is that there's going to be more jobs. We should venture into AI and all that. And it was quite contradictory to what the first speaker said, in the sense that he talked about there will be a time when he will ask you, can you use AI? If you cannot use AI, then it means that you are not you are obsolete. So now this is where my question then comes in. What is the best use of AI to be relevant at a time like this? That's one. Then second is this. If we should look at the days, because we talked about cars and horses. Now, when the automated teller machine came in, a lot of cashiers lost their job, a whole lot of them. Though it does not mean that we don't have cashiers today, but we cannot compare how many workers we used to have in the bank then, like how many workers we have now. Right now, if you go to a building, you can see a very big building, but the workers are very few. And yes, they make good use of technologies to give good services. So what will you say about that?
I think I would like to have a go at this question. A very interesting one. Joy, can I go ahead?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Then we can have the second
Okay.
speaker.
All right, that's very good. Yeah, so first, let me start from towards the end of your question. You talked about banking and ATMs and cashiers. So, like 3 weeks ago, I'm not sure if Joy saw this on my WhatsApp. I shared my experience on when I got to England 2021, and I was trying to open a Barclays account, a Barclays bank account. So the way it typically worked then in 21, you would download the app, you will schedule an appointment to go to a local bank branch, then they will do your document verification, then you go back to your house, then they send the card to you. So now, but the challenge was that post-COVID, they shut down bank branches, so the queue for bank verification was a lot. So it's almost like when I got to England and I tried to schedule my appointment, I needed to wait like 2-3 months in advance, but I already needed, and like I need a functional bank account right now. I just left it like Barclays was not the only bank I could use. Then I went on to open HSBC. Then 3 weeks ago, that was like 3 weeks ago. This is like almost a year and a half after that time. I just decided that I really wanted the Barclays account for the fun of it and for some of the other things that Barclays can give to me that HSBC might not be able to give to me. I downloaded the app again, and I observed that I observed that in less than 15 minutes, I opened a Barclays functional account with a bank account and a fully functional mobile app, and I could do transfer immediately in less than 15 minutes. This was a year and a half ago. I could not do it. So with the fact that, and I think Barclays currently is the only, oh man, I don't know, I've not opened a bank in England in a very long time. But this is Barclays a year and a half ago will not add people doing document verification in a local bank branch. But now today, you could open your account with a fully functional bank account and a mobile app in less than 15 minutes. This means that all the people that were doing bank verification, they all lost their jobs. So when I have these conversations with friends, I try to tell them that rather than being on the defensive, understand what is going on. Like that's what I talked about the marketplace. Understand the marketplace, understand the trend. So if if bankers then saw the rise of, because most of this technology started in Europe and the US before it trickles down to Africa and the other part of the world. So they saw the rise of automated teller machines, cashiers. They are not cashier. Bank tellers and cashier is not a role in Europe. I've never seen anyone call themselves cashiers in Europe. Those are not jobs again, but they may still be jobs in the other parts of the country because technological advancement is taking a bit of time to get there. But trust me, when technological advancement catches up with Africa and the other part of the world, bank tellers, in short, bank buildings, they shut down banks in Europe, in England, every time because eventually we're going to a cashless economy. So the transition is happening right in your face. So if you say my desire is to become a teller or work in a bank, so to say, as maybe a customer service or attending to clients, you're on a dying career path. So I would advise that when you understand the trend and you see where the market is going, rather than try to beat against it, just align because the market will always win. You can't win the market because you don't have the the capital power to push against the market. And also, I like to tell friends that it's a very capitalistic environment. Like we live in a capital-based world, and capitalism is what really drives our economy. And capitalism is simple as making profit. The simplest form of capitalism. Maybe some proponents are trying to incorporate a sustainable capitalism and the goodies of capitalism such that people are not just displaced and like raising the consciousness that with capitalism, people's life can inherently be destroyed. But before the conversation would make sense, people's life will be destroyed. And you would observe when the other speaker was talking about assembly lines and the developed manufacturing of cars. When I think Henry Ford was the one that popularized the assembly line and that development. When these things started, like in the early 20th century, people were clamoring the jobs are being lost, lives are being destroyed, and things like that. But it did not stop capitalists from driving where they can maximize their profits. So if capitalists say the dollar is going to towards this direction and I can make more profits in this direction, but people are going to lose their jobs, the capital will still go in this direction. So I would advise that I can't remember your first question, but I piggyback up the last one. So if I've not answered anyone, you could just you could call my attention to it. So I would advise that just try to understand where the market is going to, align yourself in that direction with your interests and your career ambition. You adjust and you adapt. Okay, I think you talked about the fact that the other speaker said there will be more jobs and I am sounding like there won't be jobs. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was talking about from the comments and what you were saying, they were quite contradicting.
Yeah, please can you call my attention to the
Okay, from the comment section, it was like there will be more jobs, something like that. Then what he said was that you have to have knowledge about AI before you can get a job. Like
okay, yeah. So I would say this. It's really a tricky state because to be very honest with you, nobody really knows nobody can say for a fact whether you will lose your job, whether you will be out of job or that you would get jobs. Let me try to distill it. So for example, if I think ground rule is everybody needs to have a working sense of AI. You really need to understand how AI works and how it impacts your field. Will it make your field obsolete? Let's say, for example, okay, so one thing I need to say clearly now is AI will not replace you, at least not yet, but somebody that can use AI will definitely replace you. The previous speaker talked about how a software developer could make a mistake writing a code and spend hours debugging. But with AI, you just copy that line of code and the AI is going to spot the error point to you in less than 2 seconds. So things that take, I have a software developer that is a friend. He could write a code and a semicolon could hold him hostage for days. But with AI, that is gone. AI is just going to point out the error to him. I'm not a developer. I don't know the tools yet. He might be able to share the tools to us. But that means that he has a working knowledge of how AI tools work and how it could make it more efficient and faster. And so rather normally developers to spend hours and days and nights trying to crack a bug. But with AI, they could just do it in less than 5 minutes. That working knowledge increases his productivity, increases his ability to do more work, cover more ground, rather than wasting more time doing debugging. Because artificial intelligence basically, in terms of workplace productivity, is efficiency. It makes human function much more efficiently because humans, like you said, we make lots of errors. We're highly subjective and not objective, but with AI and machine learning, it's a much more objective system that would point things the way it is constructed, and it will show us the things how it is supposed to work. But so as an individual and as a professional, how do you want to gear yourself up to like bulletproof your career, bulletproof your earning power? You really need to understand how AI will impact what you're doing. Be very honest with yourself. Say, for example, when I have friends that tell me I want to venture into data analysis, that's a very good career path because this, like I said, I wrote on my status about maybe a couple of weeks ago or maybe about a month ago. You could venture into data analysis saying GPT would not catch up with you just right now. But you can already understand that the work of an analyst has a lot of programmable elements that GPT would replace you at the click of a button. If you already know that, should you be building your career in that line? Maybe, maybe not. But how are you protecting yourself against a capitalist building an entire system that will wipe out your industry? So that's what I said. This conversation, nobody can categorically tell you your job is safe or your job is going to go. But you really need to improve on the way you're viewing the world and trying to understand what's the direction of the marketplace. So I'll leave the question to the other speaker to continue.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
So I know just one thing people need to understand is there are always three phases of three persons there. One are people building stuffs, one are those using it, and there are recruiters, there are sellers of softwares, and we have different areas in technology. When people talk about tech too, you see software engineers, you see data analysts, you see a whole lot of genres. So one thing is, this is the time for creative people. That's one thing people don't know is you need to be creative enough to know what you can do with AI. Nobody's going to help you do that. Me, I'm figuring it myself. That's what the first world is doing. Africa needs to step up where we need to start thinking really, really fast. You get? So first thing, there was this course I was doing in the university then. That was when I was learning about telecommunications and all of those things. And I knew that, man, I wanted to be part of this world. That was the course that just did that thing for me. I was like, no, this thing is too beautiful. I was putting myself in the place where you transfer data and packets from one place to the other and how it's routing. I was like, man, this thing is beautiful. And I knew that the world is shifting from there to this other side. When people always ask me, how do I get into tech? I'm like, you need to figure that thing out. I had that self-redemption and I followed that path. It has not been easy, but hello?
Hello?
We
can hear you.
We can hear you.
Okay, so that's exactly what it is. But first of all, before you want to know how to learn farming or anything, you need to learn the basics first. Before you want to say, what will I do with AI? A lot of people come and ask, what will I do with this thing? You don't even know it first. You need to be able to learn it first before you know how to use it. When you look at Shola and Ezra Olubi, they were software developers before they started thinking, what is going on in Nigeria? How can we build a payment gateway? One thing is, you don't even need to be too creative. You just look at what is happening in the West, in Europe, in America, and then you just replicate. They just looked at it as Stripe is in the US. So there is payment problem in Nigeria. Let's just replicate it. Even this other guy, what's that his name? Is it Felicia or what? The crypto guy. It's just the same thing that you look at Binance and you say, oh, let's just replicate this thing. So this is a world where you don't really need to, go too much of anything. Just learn it. Look at how these people are implementing this thing. Learn how to build it and bring it to Africa. And we cannot take away the fact that lawyers are always going to be there. But then with the deployment of AI, the justice system will really improve, because by analysis, AI can do a better analysis, but then it still lies in the hands of humans to decide and say, okay, this is how we are, how the judge is the one to actually say, okay, I'm giving this person 10 years. But from analysis of how judgment comes, it's just that what data analysts do now, using tools as well. Normally, if they want to go and be writing paper, there will be so much error. But using all this Power BI, BI, this, that, I'm not a data analyst, it's improving job. And they are having a more 100% to 99% results than using human task. It's the same thing with robots. When you see cars doing robots making cars, is more accurate because they can replicate 1,000, 1 million cars the same ways. Give humans that same task, or more, the cars will look different. Sorry, I'm using pigeon, but the cars will so look different. If humans are to build 100 cars, you will see that one thing is missing here. But with algorithm, we can create something that gives perfect results. It's garbage in, garbage out. You program something and it comes out the same way. So the answer, I don't know if I answered your question, but I'm just saying the best way to know something first is to understand it. You need to learn AI first, and then you start looking at ways that you yourself you can use it. Look at the ways others are using it, and how can you use it in Nigeria? Maybe it's in your state self. How can you use it to analyze something in your own locality, your state, and then you expand it to Nigeria, and then you expand it to Africa, and good, you make money. That's just that. Yeah.
That's nice. Wow, thank you so much. It was really, really engaging. I mean, the topic or the question actually sprouted to different aspects we had to touch. That's really nice. So the key thing here is be very creative. Learn how to use AI. It's not taking your job, but you should know how to use it. All right, so there's still a few more questions. We'll still go down to and the next question here. I think John should answer the question. So the person is asking, for chat GPT and bad, can we heavily be dependent on them, or there should be a max for its usage?
No, I think if we're supposed to Olivia, I would say for ChatGPT and bad, like there's still generative AI, and prejudice might be there. So, say for example, the CEO of Mind Valley explained it. He's a book writer. He conceptualizes the kind of book he wants to write, and he says usually it would take him about ChatGPT has reduced the number of hours it would use to the number of days he will use to write a book. I think almost like one third. But what he does is this: ChatGPT and this generative AI creates the framework for him, and with his own human intelligence, he adapts it to be more consistent with his tonality. So, in terms of heavily reliant on ChatGPT and bad, do you mean like once I get the garbage out, I just post the content out for use? If that's what you're saying, no. Then that's what I said earlier on. Meaning, when I was referring to students that don't use AI to engage their creativity. They're doing garbage in and garbage out. My teacher gives me an assignment, or my lecturer gives me an assignment. I copy it and I post it. That student will be made obsolete by AI because you're not using the tool how the tool is meant to be used. AI is a tool that's supposed to spark. It's supposed to spark you off. like allow you have more time to really do what humans at this point can do best. Because I'm not part of those people that will say AI will not become intuitive. I believe I'm waiting for the time AI will become more intuitive and we get to that super intelligence. I hope it happens sooner than later. But for now, as an individual, don't be too reliant on the output ChatGPT gives to you. Get the framework, allow it cut your work down, and put your own human feel to it at this point in time. Maybe hopefully in next 100 or 200 years, AI will be able to do everything better than humans, including thinking and consciousness. Maybe hopefully we get there. That's my answer.
Okay, so I hope that has answered your question, Olivia. So there are three more questions to go. And the the next question here is, what advice would you give entry-level techies like us interested in building a great career, but finding it hard to balance our present non-tech hustle with tech, which is not paying yet? So
Uh,
any of you can take the question here.
okay. Yeah, I think it could go. It could go. Let me allow it go.
Okay,
Okay.
the person is asking how to balance like their entry into tech, whereas they have a job,
Yeah. A
and
non-tech hustle, yes. So tech is not yet paying. So what's the balance? How do they find the balance?
is like the beginning of, I don't know, but when you start tech, you need 100% concentration and time. That's one thing. To be good at what you're doing. Like now, I don't code every day because I know what I'm doing. Um, that's just that. But at the beginning, it was 2 days I've not even bathed, I've not brushed my teeth. So I don't know how you can do that. I don't know. I think you need to build your business to a place where it can run on its own. Maybe you've built your business where somebody is now doing it, or you've had like using apps to automate like 80 to 90% of it, so you can have more time to do your tech learning. But if you want to get better at tech, unless you just want to do it on the surface, just normal 1 or 2 things, and there are areas where you don't have to write code, you don't have to do a whole lot of things. I think you need to look into your talents and also see, is one thing too. If you're talented, if like talented writers can just do copywriting, it's more easier for you to merge those two things. For me, I write code, so it's heavy duty in some sense. It's very heavy duty where you don't say, I'm mixing this thing with this thing. Unless somebody is now running your business, you can give 2 hours of the day to your business, and then 5 hours to writing code, and then the rest hours to sleeping, waking up, working. So I don't know how you can do that. To be very honest with you, I would say build your business to a place where it can relieve you a little, because if you try to do both things, I've done these things, I've used money from tech to build other businesses. So it's going to be really hard for you. So you need to build your business to a place it relieves you to choose whatever tech career. You look into your passion, look into the passion you have. So you go into that tech career that can help you. If you're looking for money too, it's not bad. Some of us, we are doing it for the money. If you're looking to make money too, it's the same thing. One thing is about, once you're doing tech, you want to start as a freelancer before you want to look into getting a job, or you have an idea, you want to start building it yourself. All of those things will happen, and I want to be very truthful. It's not going to happen in a way you plan it. It's not 1 to 2 to 3. So that's how some people want this thing to happen, bros. Some people want this thing to happen 1 to 2 to, but like once you know the game, that's not how it happens. You want to get a job, you stay 2 years. So you have to start freelancing first. Sometimes you freelance and you realize that you're making more money as a freelancer. Somebody offers you a job, maybe 100K a month. You reason say, they make 7 to 400K a month. You tell I won't go to work 100K for. So it doesn't work that way. But as a business person, focus on building your business to a place where it relieves you a little for you to get into whatever tech area you want to get into. Yeah.
I think what John said is very correct, and it's very obvious that he has spoken like a software developer, someone that writes code. I remember when I was trying to make my transition in 2018, 2019. I told my friend, because like I said, I did not come from a technical background. I can write Python code, but I'm not technical. I don't even enjoy writing code. I want to do more of investment and more of capitalism. That's what I like. But I know that tech, like you said, John said, most people are doing it for the money. Tech can give you the quick breakthrough and you do whatever you want to do. But I told my friend, he's a senior software developer, he told me, Taiwo, tech is not a side hustle, and you cannot take it as a side hustle. It's a full-time job that requires all of your dedication and your time. He said, if you are not going to do it, don't venture into it. But I understand where the question is coming from. Like, you really need to hold on to your job or your second hustle, but your main hustle, but you also want to venture into tech. Like John said, just look into yourself, look at what you can do. And like I said, look for the part, analyze your skill sets, analyze your opportunities also, what's available to you. If I were to turn back the hands of time, I would go and get trained as a software developer so I could make my transition into AI and machine learning as a machine learning and AI engineer very smoothly, get a PhD in a top tech, top AI job. But I've analyzed my current position. I do not have that time, resource, and skill set to venture that path. But I'm taking the path that is with least resistance that will also give me as much value in return as possible. So a bulk of this conversation is still dependent heavily on you. Nobody's going to do the hard lifting for you. Nobody's going to pay your bills. Nobody's going to read for you. Nobody's going to do anything for you. Everything is solely reliant on you as an individual.
Exactly.
Oh, wow. That was a lot. Thank you so much for that answer. So, Abidemi, I'm very sure that has really answered your question. Tech is a full-time job, so you really have to find the balance yourself, know which one you want to prioritize, know which one you want to do first, know which one comes next. So, the ball is in your court. All right, so there's two more questions to go here, and it says, I'll be asking John this question. How has the integration of AI in the tech industry affected the demand for specific job roles? As a software developer, what's your answer to this?
There is this group I'm inside. It's created by this guy. The guy has worked in Google, Airbnb, Twitter, and you have all these big guns in Microsoft and all these things. With the advent of ChatGPT and AI, there was a whole lot of panic in that group. I have to be sincere with you. Like, all the big people in tech, they were just like, Omo is done. I have to reinvest in this. I have to do this. But at the end of the day, everybody is calm because at the end of the day, we've all been able to see that nobody's losing their job. It's just about adaptability. You adapt what AI has for you, and you just grow. At the end of the day, everybody is just learning new ways. Both people from C++, Java, and all those. They are now. I used to ask question there, and it's time for you to pick up Python and then just see how you can build, because the way the software ecosystem is now is you can embed 2 languages, 3 languages in a single software. So once you build a website or an application, there's the possibility of putting in an AI model or whatever on it. But then it's still a growing space. It hasn't taken any jobs yet, but it doesn't mean that it will not. It's not taking jobs. It's going to shift it to people using AI and people. It's going to just shift it. It's going to push some people out. That's what is going to happen. Yeah, it's going to just push people down below. Some people, it's like today. Before, when I was doing front end, I realized that there's no money in front end. You understand? Everybody, once people come to meet you, they want to build something where there is payment gateway, there is authentication where people can log in, and then you realize that nobody wants to just build a simple website now. And that is where the world is. So I started doing back end, and now is where the money is where everything is. You understand? So that's just what it is. You have to. Today, people using WordPress, they are still there, but they can do like 10 jobs to 5 jobs to do one job that you've done. You understand? They will have to do like how many jobs to do one of you that is your own, that is doing back end. Because everybody is building something with high authentication and security, which some of these CMS they don't have. When you talk about weeks, they cannot do some certain things. So with AI, we've not even talked about security in AI. We've not even talked about this security. We've not. So you start. I'm just giving you guys clue now. Even myself, I'm taking clues because it might be you that will start talking about AI security. So just explore. That's just the thing. For now, it is not taking anybody's job. It's going to shift it. So, and software, no biggie for now. We are also just looking into how it's going. But another thing is there was one question about I wanted to say something about it, about if we are going to be reliant. That thing too is something, because I believe students should be banned from using artificial intelligence. Students in particular. See, students should not be allowed to use artificial. It will make you guys lazy, because people are just copying and pasting whatever AI gives to them. I remember one time I was working, there was a job we were supposed to do for some guys, and some PhD guys building some mini cores or something. They were looking for a AI generative text dictator to be embedded. So we got an API, and then they couldn't get the funds because I told them that, it's a big job. If they were to pay people in Europe, is in thousands of dollars. But you want to come and give me small money, so it didn't work for me. I don't know if they looked for somebody else. So that's just that, yeah.
Okay, so I'd like to say something concerning what John just said, concerning the way AI is going to shift people out of the market. You need to view it this way. Say, for example, when typists, before the advent of personal computers and the proliferation of computer in the workspaces, some people got stuck with using typewriters alone and they couldn't make shifts into the new technology. What just happens is that the marketplace displaces them and they go down the ladder, and they have to take lower skilled level job. So now AI is going to create that dichotomy where people that cannot make the shifts to the AI level just go down the ladder. And in 10 years, it's going to be very normal. Because we're a very awoken generation that is proliferation of media, that the world is now a global village where information flows very, very fast and simultaneously. We are having this conversation at a very loud pace. But during that time when personal computers were being invented and keyboard was coming into play to replace the hard typing, to replace secretaries that were still using typewriters and did not want to make the change. There were cries, there were all these things, but it still did not change it. They just dropped down the ladder, and the people that can use these new tools just stay relevant. So I think it's a conversation about staying relevant, using the tool, and don't get dropped in the ladder, because in Europe you see that dichotomy very well, and you see that disparity where the low skilled people and the high skilled people, the kind of jobs they do, the ones that could fit in will fit in, the ones that don't fit in just drop below. And Europe and America is a very, very built space that there is a place for everybody, but it's not like that. It's not very well defined in the African scene, where it's almost like you're skilled or you're not skilled. There's no accommodation for people that are not skilled, that don't have skills. Like if you don't have skills in Europe or in America, you will still live normal life. But in Africa, it's not really like that, and that's why the conversation really hits hard at home. But in Europe, nobody really cares about. They don't really care about AI as much as we care about it, because we know our own livelihood depends on it. Imagine if you're a copyright, like you mentioned copywriting earlier on. If you're a very skillful, okay, so for example, to start a career in copywriting now is a foolish choice, because first, if I've been doing copywriting for 20 years, I like what John said earlier on, like AI is not going to replace you. If you're already a skillful creative person and you add AI to it, you become much more proficient in what you do. But if you're just trying to build a skill set, in this time of AI, you really need to be very careful about what you dabble into. So if I had done copywriting for maybe 20 years and I oh someone said I don't do copywriter again. If you're already a copywriter, like you have 10 to 20 years experience, you build your clientele, you have a strong clientele, they trust your work, they know your work, your brain has already adapted to that style of thinking that you could creatively you could create copies, you could really understand how this technology works, and you get hold of a tool like ChatGPT, you're going to work wonders on it. But imagine if you're not in skill, you're just trying to venture into a career and you choose copywriting, you're going to be out of business because ChatGPT would even think much more excellently than you can think.
Exactly.
And this is why I say this out. You really need to. There's a lot of like as humans as a species right now. A lot of if you know any students that is heavily reliant on ChatGPT, tell that student that you're on your way to destroy your life because machines will replace you. Because effectively, what we learn when we go to school is how to think, how to creatively interpret problems, solve problems. But if you
Exactly.
give machines that responsibility, like for every time you use ChatGPT, you're training the model. The machine will pick up on your intelligence and replace you. And you're not building any skill sets. You're just going to be dumb. And that's the fear. People get lazy, machines replace them, and machines take over. You know.
Okay. That's really a good one. So if you know that you're so dependent on ChatGPT, please also try to use your brains too, because it's your brain most times we need. ChatGPT can help you, make it a lot better, make it more nicer, but please also try to use your brains. Don't be solely dependent on it. If not, you'll be asked to come up one day to do something and you're not with ChatGPT. How do you want to do it? So please don't don't be so dependent on it, or just know how to use it, know how to balance it here. Use your brain, also make AI your friend too. Like we mentioned
Definitely.
earlier, creativity is the peak of it. Be creative. That's what tech is about. So there's one more last question for me and for both of you precisely. So it says, what steps can individual take to future-proof their tech career in the age of AI domination? So probably this must have been answered earlier, but just for those joining us again. So what steps can individuals take to future-proof their tech careers in the age of AI domination? So it's for both of you, so anyone can start.
Okay, let me just go first. Very simple. I would just say be very creative and be very open to learning. Join communities like John talked about. They being in a community. Like if you're in a community, like have conversation, very educated conversation. Stay abreast of new technologies. So I have a friend, like the friend I spoke about, is a senior software developer, but a bulk of his career time he worked in isolation. He never kept in the circle of other software developers doing greater stuff, like some of the technical things that John had talked about. The guy, he's a talented guy, but he never stayed abreast of new technology. He was not in the know of things that were happening. And later on, he said he caught up with some of his friends and some of his colleagues, and he saw that those guys have they've gone way ahead of him. They've developed crazy technologies that he cannot even begin to like think about, and it became rusty. Like as humans, our brains, our attitude, our learning ability becomes rusty very easily. But I would say to future, so I would say with AI, there is no future because AI is the future. With the advent of developing technology, you really don't know what next is going to happen. So future proving it requires a lot of creativity. Like be very open to learn, read a lot, network, talk to people, be very open. Just accept it as it comes and be adaptable. Just learn that adaptability is a skill that humans need to reawaken again. Like just be adaptable. They throw it at you. Don't try to don't be on the defensive. Just be open. learn, see what happens to you, and walk the path. I think it's easier for me because I've made several transitions in my life. Like I was not originally in tech. If I was never when I went for my master's degree program in financial technology, I had not taken a job in either finance or technology, but I passed that degree because of my learning ability. So this that skill set has helped me traverse many have traversed many worlds, have different conversations. When I have conversation with people, it's very hard to know that I studied agriculture in my first degree. But that's why you're a human being, because you can learn. So if you're not learning, you're not a human being. You're going to be replaced by machines. Yeah, so that'll be my answer.
All
So
right. So, okay, you just go on.
the truth is that Taiwo has answered this question. He like answered the question in every corner. Follow community, follow the conversation, be open to learn, be very open. Don't stay and say, I'm too smart, this is how this thing is. You're not the one dictating. I always tell my students, very smart young boys, once they start coming, they always see themselves, they are very smart, they always see themselves like, I'm very smart, this thing is easy, until they start sitting them and I tell them the secret. You're not the one making the rules. The rules have been made. Learn how to follow the rules. In programming, it's a rule. It's a rule. You do like this, it comes like this. People have written the language. They've used this syntax. They've used this thing like this. If you want to go and create it, what you see is error. It's not you that wrote it. Go and write your own. If you want it to be the way you want it, or you go and write your own language. Let's see if you can do it. How can you write your own way? You don't even know how the principles of writing the languages. So that's just that. This is a place that challenges people's intelligence. It teaches you humility, first of all. You have to be humble to learn before you grow. And the growth is continuous. You see somebody that knows these things, that knows this thing, you humbly go and learn. Oh. Age, this place. Oh. If na 16-year-old get the thing where you sabi, you go they full am, you go they ask them questions. The person who come yesterday can be as speedy and fast with their curve. One thing is also curve. I always tell people, I teach people the easiest curve. Sometimes people will stay, you go learn this way. No, there's no time again. If you want to start learning anything now in tech, especially software development, there's no time for you to be wasting time learning everything about CSS, everything about HTML. No, there is a curve of the things we use every day in building softwares. So you just go, I teach people those things, those basic things. Leave the rest. No one of us uses the rest every day. All of us, they Google things every day. Is the secret. So you need to learn the curve of this is how things are done. You pick those things within 2 months, you don't catch up. The thing is to catch up because the thing is very big. Do you know how long it took people to build JavaScript? Some of the languages you're writing today, they never even born you when they begin the right time. So you want to take how many days to learn everything that somebody that started building in is dead, that other people inherited that started building on top of it? No, sir, no, ma. That's not how it's done. So Taiwo answered the question already. I think I just said something there. So that's it.
Wow, thank you so much for that. I was like the honest truth we could hear. So there's no time. So do what you can now. Try to make sure you up your game and stay on top of your game so you do not flop when everyone is going further. All right, guys. So we're almost coming to the end of this session. Earlier when I started, I mentioned that I will be saying something at the end of this session, and I mentioned about our global tech program. So I'll be going one more time over it. So if you do have interest in starting a career in tech, or you have the experience, or you have the ready skills, and you need experience, you need exposure, we have a program that suits you perfectly well. So I will be just talking briefly about it. Sorry. Okay. So we have the Bincom Global Tech Program, which is a solution to launch your tech career globally. So you want to learn a skill, you're an individual. We have individual and customized learning paths. We have mentors and facilitators at every skill level. We also have co-working spaces with internet access. Then you also need to gain experience. We have work on real, we give you real life projects you work on as you go, internship and tech apprenticeship. We help you build your resume with clients at every level. You want to gain exposure, then the international career packaging and placement, you are guided access to international tech ecosystem, work with global startups and corporates. Learn tech now and pay later. The Bincom Global Tech Program will cover you for 1 to 2 years, which will cost a 1.2 million naira fee, but can be paid later instrumentally through the income sharing agreement. So if this program suits you, a link will be dropped or has already been dropped in the chat, so you can just check it out and show us that you're interested. We'll reach out to you and follow up from there. If you want to learn a skill, you want to gain experience, or you want to gain exposure, the Bincom Global Tech Program is for you. All right, so we have this other one, which is the Emigrate service. Emigrate provides the tech-enabled visa opportunities for people in tech, either in the technical side of tech or the business side of tech. It gives opportunity to live and work in UK, USA, Canada, and France. So what can Emigrate services cover? General inquiry, coaching and hand-holding, preliminary assessment of your qualification status, self-directed roadmap to qualifying a tech-enabled visa, roadmap to a globally attractive tech profile, example, the Global Talent Visa. We also have other services which are free. We have the premium services. So if any of this is what you want, you're looking to get the tech-enabled visa, you're looking to migrate to any of the countries, UK, USA, Canada, we have our Emigrate service for you. So feel free to reach out to us and we will definitely respond and also coach you moving forward. Thank you so much. I don't know if any of the speakers has any last words to say, any last thing to say, anything to chip in before we call it a day.
For me, I'll just say like, just don't be afraid, be open to learn, and just be happy. Tech might not. Just be happy. That's all I'll say. All right. Thank you.
So,
Okay.
this is one place where, if you listen to most successful financial investors, they will tell you that some of them had doubts when they were investing in something, but they took the risk, took the leap, and the result today, most of them, a whole lot of them are billionaires in dollars today. Some people will be asking questions. Why some people are asking questions? I'll tell you, take the risk and jump in, because tomorrow now, it just takes 5 years, 3 years for you to be among the people controlling the entire ecosystem. So that's it for me. Yeah.
All right. Thank you everyone for joining. We're so excited. We are happy you were able to join us, and it's so exciting to see that we all stayed till the end of this session. So feel free to reach out for any of our services. If you need to connect with the speakers, we'll be sharing their handles with you so you can follow them, so you stay updated with other trendy things in the tech space. You can also follow Bincom Dev Center on the various social media platforms to stay updated with other community events and other services we offer here at Bincom. Thank you so much for joining. It was great. It was really an exciting, educating session as well. Thank you so much. Do have a great weekend. Enjoy your day.